In this lesson, we'll look at using troubleshooting wizards. Windows 10 has over 20 different troubleshooting wizards that focus on particular types of software and driver issues, such as sound problems or trouble connecting to the internet. If you've never used one of these wizards before, it can be a nice surprise to find them hidden away, ready and waiting in case they're ever needed. To use a troubleshooting wizard, it's easiest just to type in troubleshooting down here in the search box. Select Troubleshoot Tools from the results. You'll see the Settings app will open to Troubleshoot. Now I'll scroll down. You can see the most common issues under Get Up and Running. Below the list, we have many more that are under Find and Fix Other Problems. As we scroll down the list, ask yourself if you've ever had trouble in one of these areas. So how would you use these troubleshooting wizards? Well, for any given problem, the wizard will run through a set of automated steps and fixes. After each step, it may ask us to check results after a fix has been applied and indicate if the problem is resolved or not. The wizard will adjust its next step based on the responses that we give. And the wizard will run through all of the configured steps until the problem is either resolved or possible fixes have been exhausted. You'll then be able to try something else, maybe another wizard, or you may need to look online for further information. Now, each troubleshooting wizard is unique, and many fixes will require admin permission to apply them. In some cases, a reboot could be involved. Now, in Windows 10, it's also still possible to find these same troubleshooting wizards in your control panel. I'll open the control panel from down here, and then I'll change my view to show icons. Now we can see troubleshooting listed. Right away, a few categories are shown, but we're going to select View All, and now I can see the entire list of troubleshooting wizards on my device. Currently, there's 24 on this device. These are the same troubleshooting wizards that would be launched from the Settings app, although technically there's a few more here than I could see in the Settings app. So let's jump back to the Settings app and let's see one of these in action. So let's just say that we're having trouble printing. In fact, on this device I've stopped and disabled the print spooler service, so I know that I've killed the ability for my device to print. So we'll select the printer troubleshooter, and then I can select Run the troubleshooter. A small window opens, and it runs a quick scan looking for general problems to see which printers I have. But I already saw something. If you caught it, it was very quick. But one of the initial things it looked for was your print spooler service. The wizard continues with some automatic checks, and as it works its way down the list of steps, the only thing in this case that it asked me to do is choose whether I want to make this my default printer. And I'm going to say no, I don't want to do that in this case, and we're just going to let it keep going. So here at the end we have a report showing what was done, and I can see it found some issues and it automatically fixed them. It did flag the suggestion that was given to make this my default printer as not fixed, although I know my problem is fixed at this point because those were the services I disabled. But let's select View Detailed Information. Now in the troubleshooting report, and this can be printed, I can see issues found, and here are all the potential issues that were checked. So there's quite a few things, quite a few steps that I wasn't even involved in, but the wizard actually ran through all of these things looking for potential problems. While these wizards may not always fix your problem, they're a good first step to take in troubleshooting an issue. And I can say that they've worked several times for me when dealing with problems on various devices. It's good to know that wizards exist for things like internet connections, video playback, the Windows Store apps, and even Windows Update. Now we're going to look at more troubleshooting tools included in Windows 10 in another lesson. We have apps like the Get Help app. A very new troubleshooting feature that's been added to Windows 10 is up here at the top. Recommended troubleshooting is a feature that lets Windows be proactive in dealing with problems. While the wizards we just looked at run through a lot of automated steps, they're still manual in the sense that we need to pick the right one and then we need to run it. Recommended troubleshooting uses diagnostic data to detect and apply fixes for many common problems automatically. While this is enabled by default now on most of our devices, let's look at the settings for recommended troubleshooting. Now this actually takes us over to the privacy settings within our Settings app. Under the recommended troubleshooting section, select the best option for your device. We have a few choices here. First of all, we have Fix Problems for me without asking. When we have chosen this option, recommended fixes will be applied automatically. No interaction or notifications will be generated. Now, if you're the kind of person that just wants their car to start when you turn the key, this might be the setting you want. The next one is Tell me when problems get fixed. Issues will be fixed automatically, but with this setting, you will get a notification later that an issue is fixed and what changes were made. Ask me before fixing problems. Now, that's our default. With this option, you'll receive a notification to review the recommended fix, along with an option to run or ignore the fix. Finally, only fix critical problems for me. Windows 10 will only try to fix critical problems, and other issues will be ignored. Now, this is the setting to go with if you really don't want this feature to be enabled to begin with. Currently, there's no way to turn this feature off, but this is the setting that would be least likely to use recommended troubleshooting actions. Now, something else to keep in mind with this new feature is that it relies on diagnostic data. So scrolling back up here, we see that your device could be sending basic or full diagnostic data to Microsoft. So generally, the default will be full, which can include information about the device, apps that are installed, app activity, browse history, and error messages. Now, it's based on this information that problems are recognized and solutions are identified. Now you can see why this is under privacy settings. Now, we're going to look closer at privacy concerns in general in another lesson, but if you feel uncomfortable with this feature, sending data perhaps concerning your browsing history to Microsoft, you can switch the diagnostic data to basic so that only minimal data is sent regarding your device health and configuration. You can also choose to delete data that's been collected down here. Now again, the option you choose is entirely up to you. You may have no concerns about this diagnostic data being sent to Microsoft. Its purpose is to improve your device performance and health. But in the end, your privacy settings are your concern. In this clip, we've looked at using troubleshooting wizards. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.